Hey, good morning, team. So, a little bit longer video here today as I talk about. I've been working recently with a lot of young leaders who are struggling to, I guess, what I would call find your leadership voice. And the theme of most of the tools that I've been giving them around that old sports or military analogy of sometimes the best defense is a good offense. And what I mean by that is setting really clear expectations. And too often I see not just young leaders, but business in general, really missing out on an opportunity to set better expectations. And there's three particular areas. As a matter of fact, I'm going to, I think, unpack these in probably like a three-part series, but want to just talk a little bit today, high level. The three areas are the recruiting process, the hiring process, and then onboarding. And I can't tell you how many clients I work with that could use improvements in all three of these. I can't tell you how many clients I work with that actually don't have, even like onboarding is probably the most specific one where people don't have, the word that I love to use is intentional. So they don't have an intentional process for how they're going to onboard a new team member. So a couple specific examples I'll just use in the hiring process. So I was working with a young leader just here this week and talking about the interview process and how they ask just their interview questions, and they were very specific to the job description, which is what a lot of leaders do, and that's important, but asking character related questions about who they are as a person, and does that align with the values that they have alive in their organization, and is that the kind of folks that you want to work with on a day-to-day basis. So we were talking about that. And then the onboarding process. So again, a ton of my clients, most of my clients, I would say, don't have a really thoughtful onboarding process when I start working with them. And that's one thing that we typically guide to. So what I had talked about with this young leader was, and he does have a new person starting in a couple of weeks. So we talked about putting together a checklist that they could use with this new hire that would basically encompass things on that first week that they work in the organization, the first month, and then a 90-day plan. And what I found in my career is that those are three pretty good chunks of time to break down in an onboarding process. So if you think about, again, weekly, month, that first month, and then in that first 90 days, you can typically, not all the time, but you can typically cover most everything that you'd need to have a good, thoughtful, and solid onboarding. And again, I'll unpack this in an entire three-part series where we break this down. Anyway, hope you guys are having a great day.